Baseball Card Market Report for February 10 through the 16th, 2022. New players on the investment corner field. One of the biggest stories in the hobby over the last 6 months or so, and one that just keeps on giving, is the saga of Fanatics and their upcoming monarch over the sports licensing, plus their recent purchase of the Topps brand. Collectors get all up in arms and pay attention anytime sweeping changes hit the market, and especially any time that new card brands are, or at least potentially in the offering. Given all that, I thought it might be fun to turn back the clock for our visit to the investment corner this month and fake spend our phony $1,000 on cards from 1981. That's the year, you might remember, that Flair and Daundress broke Topps monopoly and ushered in the 1980s hobby boom. With that in mind, here is how I spent our funny money. 1981 Topps complete set plus traded set, $125.46. Flair and Daundress may have upset Topps apple cart, but the old gum company remained, and remains to this day, the real one among collectors. Part of Topps' response to the upstarts in 1981 was their first ever concentrated traded issue that fall, a 132 card box set that would quickly become a tradition and help hasten the rookie card mania to follow. While there were plenty of 1981 Topps cards to be had, and still are, this remains a palatable price to own a hunk of hobby history, and these cards appear to be in near mint, though raw condition. 1981 Topps Lou Whitaker, number 234, PSA 10, $295. If you've read my ramblings for any length of time, you know I'm a big Lou Whitaker fan, and that I think he's been robbed in Hall of Fame voting. With Alan Trammell and Jack Morris and Harold Baines and Gil Hodges and Big Poppy and others all now calling Cooperstown home, it's only a matter of time before Sweet Lou joins them. And when he does, perfect copies of his early cards are going to go up in value, at least relative to cards around them. 1981 Flair Unopened Waxbox, $212.50. Talk about a hunk of history. Flair broke Topps monopoly with a resounding court victory in 1980 that included a bank-breaking $1 judgment, and then rolled out their first issue the next spring. Though there were a few quality control issues, 1981 Flair has an appealing overall look and enough errors and variations to keep you scratching your head for years. The only question is, if you owned an unopened 1981 Flair box, would you open it? 1981 Daundress Unopened Waxbox, $165. While everyone knew Flair was going to issue cards in 1981, very few realized that the landmark case against Topps also opened the door for other companies to make baseball cards too. Daundress bought a truckload of Bible page paper, fired up the Keith Olbermann prose machine, and stepped right through that opening. Almost certainly the worst of the three 1981 sets, the first Daundress issue is still hobby history, and like Flair, this box also affords you the opportunity to chew some 41-year-old gum, if you can pry it off the cards themselves, that is. 1981 Flair Nolan Ryan number 57, PSA 10, $164.03. Nolan Ryan cards will never go down in value, at least in comparison to the cards around them. So if you buy a perfect Ryan card from the first Flair set in 2022, you're going to pay less than you would for the same card 10 years from now, assuming the hobby doesn't collapse or at least recede like the baseball cap wearer's hairline in the meantime. 1981 Flair Johnny Bench, number 196, lot of 50, $38. This was sort of a filler since I had about $38 left in my $1,000 budget after buying the previous cards. But as a Reds fan and a bench fan and a 1981 Flair bench fan, how could I pass up the lot? Well, I couldn't. The only real difficulty here will be finding a match to gauge my sell price a year from now, but I'm capable of multiplying. I only need to find a one-card sale in reality. For 64 cents a pop, though, bench seems like a good bet, at least to break even. All told, that's a total spent of $999.99, with 1 cent left over that I can put to my 2-cent fund that will allow me to express my opinion in some yet to be determined future discussion. For now, how do you think I did here? Will I be bathing in fake bucks from the sale of these 1981 treasures a year from now, or will I just take a bath? Only time will tell, but the one thing we know for sure is that these fall a few years shy of qualifying for direct comparison with last February's. Junk wax investments. Last February, I decided to see if there was any fake money to be made in so-called junk wax cards. So we perused the then recent eBay sold listing and didn't dump our non existent $1,000 into cards issued from the mid 1980s to the mid 1990s. Here is what our shopping spree brought: 1988 Daundress vending case. Bought one 2021 for $295, sold one 2022 for $200. Profit loss minus $95, minus 32%. 1993 Upper Deck Nolan Ryan number 155 PSA 10. Bought one 2021 for $32.99, sold one 2022 for $45. Profit loss $12.01, 36%. 1988 Top Spending Case. Bought one 2021 for $209.50, sold one 2022 for $200. Profit loss minus $9.50, minus 5%. 1989 Daundress Waxboxes. 4. Bought one 2021 for $80, sold one 2022 for $95. Profit loss $15, 19%. 1990 Leaf Larry Walker number 325 PSA 10. Bought one 2021 for $114.50, sold one 2022 for $150. Profit loss $35.50, 31%. 1991 Upper Deck Low Series Baseball Hobby Box. Bought one 2021 for $129.99, sold one 2022 for $50. Profit loss minus $79.99, minus 62%. 1992 Daundress Elite Ken Griffey Jr. number 13. Bought one 2021 for $134.03, sold one 2022 for $200. Profit loss $65.97, 49%. The price we'd have to pay, sold, is culled from the PSA Auction Prices Realize tool, generally taking the most recent sale of any given card in any given condition as our barometer, and leaning on recent eBay sales in some cases. Our total spending last February was $996.01, and our total sales this February amounted to $940. That's a loss of $56.01, or about 6%. This is the first time we took it in the shorts in this space, which might be an overall damnation of junk wax cards. Or just might be that we have to be a bit more discerning when jumping into the deep end of never-ending product. The big losers on this list were all unopened stuff from 1988 to 1991, and mere base product at that. Our single card purchases all made us money, with the sparkling Griffey Elite netting a 50% profit. Quality in, quality out, or something like that.